right. We are getting started. So, today we're doing a 2-month check-in on the vial of electric magenta ink that I mixed up in a previous video. I'm going to start by swatching. The ink itself, I mixed that actually 2 months ago. It is September 12th as I record this. The electric magenta ink, the video for that is published on December 12th. But it was actually recorded in July. So this was a mix of the Jinhao Bluish Violet ink, the Jinhao Neon Yellow ink, Diamine Writer's Blood, and the Iroshizuku Konpeki. Actually, the Iroshizuku Konpeki was featured in the mix video but not used. So it's a 3-ink mix across 2 manufacturers. Word to the wise, if you are not super familiar with mixing ink, it is not something that you want to just jump head first into if you're not going to be careful. I do have a video that I'll link in the description detailing some do's and don'ts for mixing fountain pen ink. You can gum up your pen, you can make a mix that will be an absolute abomination, so be careful. So here, looking at this vial, you can see there's no clumping, there's no precipitate. The ink itself, the mix is stable. I've been using this quite a bit. I've used approximately half of it so far. Today I'm going to load it up in this Monteverde Ritma. The Ritma itself is a pen that I rather enjoy. I know some people out there do not have the highest opinion of Monteverde. Their medium and fine nibs, I would say, are not the most exciting. They're relatively pedestrian. But their stub nibs, once you have it tuned, and I did have to tune this nib upon receipt, once you have it tuned, that nib can sing, and you may actually be able to hear that in the background. The paper I'm using is, it was sale paper. It was notebook paper from Staples. I think I paid 66 cents for the notebook or whatever it was, and that's why I bought it. I use these notebooks for note-taking and meetings, business purposes. That's also my primary use of my pens, specifically for business note-taking. The videos that I make are a byproduct of that, where I wound up making these videos is not a point where I would have thought I would have arrived at when I got my first fountain pen in 1987, 86. And yet here I am, all these years later, chugging along, playing with pens, messing around with ink. So I'm going to get this pen reassembled now that it's loaded up with some ink. I'm going to test the nib quickly on a previous page just to make sure ink is flowing and my cleaning up of the section did not accidentally purge all ink from the feed and nib, which yes, I have done. And of course this ink continues to flow nicely, which I am frankly surprised about. The Jinhao Bluish Violet and Jinhao Yellow inks that I used in this, they are the first and 2/3 of the only Jinhao ink that I've owned. And I had absolutely no idea that they could be so successfully used to make a fun color. And when I talk about fun color, if you keep your eye on that swatch in the upper left hand corner of the page I'm writing at, as it dries, the shading from this mix will become evident. The sound of the nib on this paper has been described as irritating to me by some people. I think it's kind of fun, so I don't mind it at all. It is the paper, though. It's not the pen. And it doesn't matter really which stub nib I use on this paper. I always get the same noise from it. That's what you get for buying your notebook paper out of the sales bin at a generic office supply store. All right, let's take a look at the shading here. You can see there's actually some good depth to it. And that's just a Q-tip swab. Let's see if we can get this focused. What you're seeing on camera is close to what I'm seeing in person. There's some good shading from the stub nib. Good line variation. I think it's a nice degree of difference there. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Stay in school. See you next time.